This plant, huh? You see the plant there with flowers? There? It's this one, very big leaves. And this plant looks tropical. What is doing here? This plant looks like a rhododendron, but it's not.
Yeah, it looks like
It's not. It's another flower. You see the flower? It's a very small flower. And looks like a bay, but it's not. And here in Argentina we call it canelo, which in Spanish means cinnamon, but it's not. What is it? The scientist's name is Dreamins winteri. Dreamins winteri. And Winter was a pirate who sailed these waters with the famous Francis Drake. He get lost, and he found that the plant has a lot of vitamin C. And this was one of the first remedy used to avoid the scurvy. The scurvy which changes the history. You know that in the former centuries, millions of people used to die by scurvy with big excursions. And well, the pirates find out it was interesting that the pirates, they found the remedy almost 2 centuries before the armies of England, Spain, or France. 2 centuries before. That's why all the people was afraid of pirates, because they were very strong. They were very well in shape. And one of the first symptoms of the scurvy is the laziness. You cannot stand yourself. And well, the plant is very primitive. This plant was here when my passport said Gondwana. It's from the time of Gondwana. And also the flower is very primitive. And you recognize primitive flowers because they are the petals in a spiral. Like the lotus, like the... do you know why? They are in spiral. Was one day when the plants used to reproduce and they threw a lot of pollen to the air, and then the wind was spread the pollen everywhere, but that was a lot of effort. One day the plants say, oh, let's do work the insects and birds, and then they start to transform the leaves, because a flower is a leaves transform. And you know, you have a stick, and the leaves, they start to give colors to the leaves, and they start to compact the stick. And a primitive flower is a flower which didn't finish the compactation, but modern flowers, they have all the petals in one knot. That's why we recognize that this is a primitive flower. And it was the plant that also used the Indians to make the harpoon. You see that one, very straight? And these Indians were in the canoes hunting the sea lion, and they need very long harpoons because the skin of the sea lions is very thick. And then, but they did a very special harpoon because the point was not fixed, but with a long cord. Then they could kill the sea lion, and then later follow the piece of wood, know where the sea lion went to die. It was very dangerous for them to have the sea lion dying near the canoe because they had very fragile canoes. Well, seems to be it's not going to be a big rain. We keep going a little bit. Then we leave the plant, the canelo.